telling you about the time I broke a skull on stage in front of a live audience. Now I know what you're thinking, like, is everyone okay? Did anyone get hurt? Don't worry, like, no one was hurt. It was just a prop from a costume store. See, last fall, I was in the fall play at my school, which is called Laughingstock. And Laughingstock was a show about a theater company who was putting on 3 shows in one weekend. Charlie's Aunt, the British farce, Dracula, and Hamlet. Now the skull was in fact the skull of York. For those of you who know Hamlet, it's the skull of York. For those of you who don't know Hamlet, it's the most important prop in Hamlet. So like, it's a big deal. So the final scene of the show takes place backstage. And the whole stage is in disarray and it's totally chaotic because the skull of York has gone missing and they need it on stage for the next scene. So there's couch cushions flying, there's things just going everywhere as people try to look for the missing skull. And then our stage manager, Meredith, comes running on stage all huffing and puffing that she found the skull. And then it's revealed that the skull is in fact not just the prop, but it's also the remains of the theater's original owner. Well, that freaks everyone out, and we go into this very choreographed toss of the skull from one person to the other because there are 2 objectives right now. We need to get that skull on stage, and nobody actually really wants to touch it because it's someone's actual skull. Now, everything up to this point has been planned and choreographed and written in the script. But this is where things get a little messed up. This freshman who was cast, his name was Mark. The only freshman to get cast is very forgetful. Like, it's no coincidence that he was cast as the dumb intern. Mark was supposed to be standing a few feet away from me. No, Mark is on the other side of the stage. There's about 20 feet between us, and I'm supposed to receive the skull from Mark. So the skull is going from one person to the other, back and forth around the stage. I'm motioning for him to come closer to me, and he's just standing there looking around. So finally, the skull is in his possession. He looks at it, and then he looks at me, and he doesn't realize what to do. So of course, naturally, I just decide that I'm going to mime to him to run it over like a football. So I try to like show him that he needs to like bring the skull across the stage. Oh no. He decides that he's just gonna throw it as hard as he can overhand just across the stage. Well, I see the skull coming at me. It's coming. I go to dive for it. Through my hands, shatters on the floor. Well, the thing about this skull is that the entire ending of the show revolved around it. So now we have this broken skull lying on the floor. So the last 15 minutes were total chaos. We ended up getting the biggest chunk of it to Hamlet so that he could finish performing the show. But the entire end of the show was improvisation and a lot of skull jokes. But I mean, in the end, we all came out ahead, right? Okay. So yeah, moral of the story is that like, even though sometimes things don't go as planned, like it was our best show and we got like a standing ovation and it was a sold out crowd. So sometimes if things don't go as written, I mean, they can still turn out okay. Thank you.